So you want to be a numerologist. You've ordered your How to Be a Numerologist kit from the back of your favorite health food magazine, and you're ready to go. Or are you? Are you really, really ready to understand the deep esoteric meaning of numerology, like so many of us have? Well, let's see. First of all, what numerology isn't is math. Thank you. That's right. There's a little bit of math. You know, like that math I flunked out of in high school and had to retake in a developmental class to get into college. Well, it's only that kind of math, nothing more. Secondly, what numerology is the effect and effects numbers have on one's life. That's all. As George Orwell said in his book 1984, numbers are everywhere. Numbers are everything. And by understanding these numbers, we understand ourselves and the world that surrounds us. Like many of the esoteric arts, the history of numerology is hard to pinpoint. We know that the Greece and the ancient Egyptians, they were really into the number 3 and some other numbers. And then the Mayans and the Persians, they gave us the number 0, while you and me, you know, us Anglo-Saxon Europeans, we were still counting our toes. Way advanced. That's where it all began, somewhere back in there. So they say. But those of us in the esoteric arts know that the true father/mother of numerology is none other than Pythagoras.
Which now takes us to the Pythagoras 30-second bio, brought to you by
Wikipedia,
the source for people with no source. Pythagoras was born around 57 BC on the Greek island of Samos. Pythagoras made influential contributions to philosophy and religious teachings in the 6th century BC. Many mathematicians and scientific discoveries were attributed to him, as well as discoveries in the field of music, astronomy, and medicine. But Pythagoras is best known for the Pythagorean theorem, which bears his name. The Pythagoras theorem, simply stated, is,
well, math, so we'll skip that.
Pythagoras and his disciples were the conceivers of the golden ratio, which is 1.618.
the perfect analogy of the universe.
More math, so we'll skip that too.
Pythagoras started a liberal school where the students weren't allowed to talk for a year or look into a mirror beside a candle. He taught them reincarnation, not to eat beans, and the power of numbers.
Pythagoras and his disciples were the first to use the concept of cosmos and point out that the earth rotates around the sun.
Pythagoras was a vegetarian. And most importantly for us, Pythagoras was a number freak and taught us that numbers are everywhere
and in everything. End of 30-second
Pythagoras bio, brought to you by
Wikipedia,
the source for those with no source.
Pythagoras. Now, for the sake of time and simplicity, I would just tell you that numerology is just breaking numbers down. You take the big number and you keep going until you can get to it as small as you can. And to give you an example of this, we'll take today's date, the date that I am blogging this, which happens to be February 18th, 2022. That is 02/18/2022. That is the day we are blogging this. Now, to get to the numerical value, we just add each digit together separately. How do we do this? Simple. We take 0 plus 2 plus 1 plus 8 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2 equals 17. So the numerical value of today's date is 17, but wait, it's not, because 1 and 7 can be reduced. And how you do that? You take 7 plus 1 and you get 8. Now 8 is the numerological number for today's date. So if your baby's born today, that is their number. That is their birth number. That's their life number. That number is going to mean a lot. And if you just want to study the general physics of today, of what's happening today, you know, sometimes it's nice to just take the day's number and match it with the headlines. And you take an 8, and what does 8 mean? Just Google the numerological meaning of the number 8, and you will come up with fascinating stuff. I myself, though, prefer to use the I Ching for all my numbers. It's just my preference. Sometimes I'll use them both. You know, I'll go to the internet, and there's some sites I use. AffinityNumerology.com is one. According to the AffinityNumerology.com, the number 8 represents energy that supports a rise in efficiency and realistic outlook. It's a day for large public works and big business to make agreements. Now, they all kind of run like that. So what I do then is I go to the I Ching, and what do I get? Well, the I Ching says closeness is auspicious. If those with whom one associates closely are basically always upright and steadfast, then there will be no fault. So it's still kind of like business, right? I mean, doing something there. Only what it's saying is, know who you're doing business with today. Because something could be happening out there that's just not on the uppity up. That's why it's important to know today's date. That number value before you go out in that world. That cold, mean old world. You don't even know what's going to hit you. You're just out there, I'm going to have a fun day today. I'm going to make a lot of money. And bam, your business partner screws you. And you realize, wow, I really never did trust him. See, if you knew that today was number 8, you would have thought about that. Anyhow, that's what I do anyways. Now, I know there's some of you out there who are saying, wait a minute. How can one number tell the fate of everybody? Or that's just impossible. Of course, you have that problem with the horoscope and everything too. But let me tell you that it's simple. Just as with the divination cards, it works if you want it to work and doesn't if you don't want it to work. It's an eternal truth, that spot in you that things, that spot that's way deep down there, just under your heart, just beside your spleen, right there in your inner gut that tells you these things are true. But it's up here where you're saying, I don't want to deal with this because I just rather would deal with ESPN sports or my favorite cook show. No, you got to get deeper. Hence, esotericdaily.com. That's my only plug for today, I promise. Now, if you follow and allow what you know to be true to lead your way, it will guide you. If you deny it, it will fail you. It's the esoteric law of truth. It's a difference between the sages of light versus the toothless E-I-E-I-O's of darkness. That's it. The sages of light or the E-I-E-I-O's of darkness. You choose. You can follow this or you don't have to. I mean, I'm going to leave it up to you, but I just want to tell you, numbers are true. Now, of all the numbers you can break down, like I just showed you how to break today's date down, there is none more important than your life path number, which tells you where you've been and where you're going. To get to this number, you simply break down your birthday like we did today. You take the 2-digit for the day, the 2-digit for the month, the 4-digit for the year, add it together, and start breaking it down till you get to that one number. And that will be your number. Now, for instance, if we take my birthday. Okay, you ready? My birthday was November 21st, 1959. It's a little bit of work there. If you break it down as 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 plus 5 plus 9 equals 29, which equals 2 plus 9 equals 11, which is 1 plus 1 equals 2. Woo! All that to get to 2. So in this example, the life path number is 2, which means if I walk into a bathroom, I should probably look at the stall number 2 first. If I'm going to bet on a horse, just kind of see what's happening with horse number 2 in the second race. Things like that. That's the easy math of it. There's more, as we told you with the definitions. And let's see what I get there. If I go to sevenethlifepath.com, another good site, I find that people with the life path of 2 are natural peacemakers. People may often look to them to be a mediator in an agreement. You see that? Peacemaker, equality guy? Is it any wonder that I have a website that deals with light called esotericdaily.com? That's my blog, and I am blogging for peace, equality, and freedom of all people. Even the bubbas who hate me. I chant for your happiness. I want us all to be happy, that's all. And enlightened. Not judgmental. Now, according to the I Ching, the number 2 is receptive. And it says that this number will stray at first, but then finds his/her direction in the end. Now, is it any wonder that I'm in my 60s and I'm finally understanding this blogging internet video thing? Hence, I got like 12 viewers right now. It's crazy. So now, besides using numbers in numerology, we can also use letters. That's right. There's a thing called the Pythagoras chart, where he made a chart of numbers that correspond to the letters in the Roman alphabet. So you can take your name, you can take your city, you can take your dog's name, you can take where you're born, you can take your favorite president, your worst president, your enemy, you can take anybody's name, and you can bring it down to a number. And then you can understand them better by that number. Now, the good thing about this is that by using your name and getting a number, you can get what we call your destiny number. And that's your major biggie wiggy number. You go ahead and take your name, and I'll show you here. In my case, I can use a Pythagorean chart to convert my name Eso Terry thusly. E equal 5, S1, 0, 6, T2, E5, R9, R9, Y7. Altogether equals 44. 4 plus 4 equals 8. Whoa! And we have 8 again. So you've already known everything about the 8. And that is my destiny number as well. Pretty heavy, huh? Today's date is my destiny, and I'm actually doing this blog for you on today's date. Tell me numerology isn't like crazy. Using this Pythagorean chart, you can also get your personality number by calculating the consonants in your full name. Only the consonants, not the vowels. In my case, it would be as such. S is 1, T is 2, R is 9, the other R is 9, and Y is 7. I get a total of 28. 2 plus 8 equals 1, plus 0 equals 1. So my esoteric personality, my numerological personality, is 1. And a quick internet search tells me that I am fiercely independent, competitive, determined, and value my freedom. Ouch. So me. Freedom. There it goes again. It's just, there's no denying this stuff. You see, I bring light to the esoteric with liberty, peace, and freedom for all my peoples. Like I said, even Bubba, who hates me, bring light. Another number you can get from the letters in your name is your soul number. Soul number, that little thing inside you, that's your soul number, by only doing the vowels. In my case, I have E, that's a 5, O, that's a 6, the other E is 5, and I get the total of 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7, and voila, I got 7. It's my soul number. Now, come on, everybody knows 7. I mean, even if you think this is the biggest shit in the world, you know that 7 is a magical number. You can bet on it. There's a lot of quarterbacks and have had it, and there's race cars and all this stuff. 7 is just big, but there's more to 7 than what you might think. And it's my soul number. And hence, I have a website called esotericdaily.com because 7, if you go out on the internet and find just a basic Google search, it is a quest for knowledge. And it's actually considered a significant in virtually every major religion. It's considered the 7 days of creation in the Bible, the 7 chakras in Eastern tradition, and so on. So I have a very spiritual number. as my soul number. Now that makes sense. Oh, man, I have esoteric written all over me, don't I? I really do. So we have to stop here now. I have to backstop and tell you that I made a mistake. I made a mistake earlier when I was doing my birthday. And I knew it when I was doing it, but I didn't want to confuse this, make this more than it had to be. Now, if you remember, when we started out here, I gave you my birthday, November 21st, 1959. And I broke it down. I did the math, 1 plus 2 plus 1, blah, 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 blah. And we came up with the number which was 11. And I told you, let's do 1 plus 1, and we got 2. Well, guess what? I lied to you. 11 was it. You don't go any further down than 11, because 11 is called one of the master numbers. Now, what are master numbers? Well, there's the number 11 is a master number. The number 22 is a master number. The number 33 is a master number. And if you have the master number, you stop right there, because it's heavily spiritually wild. I mean, you roll your eyes up and go, I have 11. And that's really why I am who I am, here on esotericdaily.com. And to go a little bit more about the master numbers, they have the deep and powerful meaning all on their own. That's why they can't be reduced. The master number 11 can relate to instinct and faith. The number 22 is the master builder. The number 33 has various meanings as one of your core numbers. That is life path, expression, personality, etc. So my birthday number is actually 11, and it's considered a karmic number in numerological terms, which means that it is associated with spiritual awakening. This mystical number is said to offer insight, higher energy, inspiration, and creativity to those who use it in numerology. Well, I think that pretty much sums up my qualifications for this job now, doesn't it? I think so. Now, before I close, I do want to tell you that there's a whole lot more to this. I just scratched the surface for you. Just kind of want to show you how to break down numbers. I mean, if you've been following my blog, like a few months ago, I started seeing 444s everywhere. Bam, 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 which is a very angel number. And it means good luck is coming. And sure as shit, a lot of good luck came. But, there's just so much to do with this that I just scratched the surface right now. So I'm going to have to let you go now and say that's all. All, by the way, is 1 plus 3 plus 3, which equals 7. See what I mean?